एक दफा ये एडमिट कर लेते हैं तो उसके बाद नहीं आएगी।
अच्छा हाँ, ये मतलब इस्लाम। चलो मैं स्टार्ट कर दूँ ना?
जी जी।
चलो ओके। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। Today your topic regarding pharmacology is anti-anginal drug. Sorry. And the learning objectives, you know, what are the learning objective? Is the what is angina, types of angina, and how, what are name the drug that are used to treat the angina. It means a classification of the drug, its pharmacological effect, mechanism of action of the drug, its pharmacokinetic, clinical uses, side effects of the drug, adverse effect of the drug, and contraindication of the drug. मूव क्यों नहीं हो रही?
नहीं वो मैडम एक दफा क्लिक कर दिया।
कहाँ से जाके?
एक दफा क्लिक कर दिया।
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है। आवाज सही आ रही है?
जी जी।
ओके। Anti-anginal drug. Angina means chest pain. And this is the warning sign that the heart is not getting enough oxygen for its workload. It means the blood flow to the heart is reduced. So these are the learning objective. Define angina pectoris and the different type of angina. What are the different strategies in different types of the angina? And classification of the drug, and then mainly the three class of the drug is used: nitrate, calcium channel blocker, beta blocker, and antiplatelet drugs. The mechanism of action of the nitrates, what are the clinical uses of the nitrate, what are the contraindication of the nitrate, and adverse effect of the nitrate. And second group of the drug is the calcium channel blocker. What are its clinical uses, what are its contraindication, what are its adverse effect. And last one is the beta blockers. It is also used. So what are the indications, contraindication, adverse effect of the beta blocker drugs? The angina, what is angina? It is a type of the chest pain. And this is the warning sign that the heart is not getting enough oxygen for its workload. The patient feels pain, pressure. Here you see there is an imbalance between the oxygen supply and oxygen demand. Here you can see in the pictures. Normally there is a balance, heart, healthy heart. Now the angina pectoris is the main symptoms of the ischemic heart disease. It is due to imbalance between the supply and oxygen demand of the myocardium. And what will happen in the angina pectoris? Sudden severe pressing chest pain that radiating to the neck, jaw, back and arm due to the same innervations you have learned in anatomy. And the types of angina, I have told you the different types of the angina. The stable angina, angina efforts induced or classical or typical angina. Second is the unstable angina. We also call it crescendo. And third is the prinzmetal, or you can say the variant vasospastic angina or angina at rest. So stable angina, or we call it angina of efforts that occur in exercise. The cause is the coronary atherosclerosis, narrowing of the coronary artery. And second is the unstable angina, that occur due to the platelet aggregation. And third is the Prinzmetal angina or vasospastic angina, or you can say the pain that occur at the rest, or you can say the rest angina. This is the uncommon pattern, and this is occurred due to the coronary artery spasm. So there are different type of the angina. We should know the difference when it occurs. Stable angina, or you can say the classical or typical angina or angina pectoris. This occur due to the cause is the atherosclerosis. Second is the unstable angina that occur due to the platelet aggregations. And third is the Prinzmetal or vasospastic angina, or you can say the angina at rest. And this occur due to the coronary artery spasm. Now the stable angina. Most common form of the angina is the stable angina, you can say the classical angina, or we also call it as typical angina pectoris. And the cause is the coronary atherosclerosis. And the heart become more vulnerable in the conditions such as patient in physical activity or emotional excitement. And how it is relieved? Promptly it is relieved by rest or giving the nitrate, or you can say the nitroglycine. And second is the unstable angina, and the cause is the platelet aggregations. The symptom is not relieved by rest or nitroglycine, that is can occur in classical angina or the angina pectoris. And this condition is the hospital administration, require hospital administration, more aggressive therapy to prevent the death and myocardial infarctions. And third one is the Prinzmetal variant and vasospastic angina. That angina type of the pain, chest pain can occur at rest, and the cause is the coronary artery spasm. And this angina is unrelated to physical activity, heart rate, or blood pressure. And this type of the angina respond by giving the coronary vasodilators such as nitroglycine and calcium channel blocker. So this is the different types of the angina, when it occurs, and how its pain is relieved. Now the anti-anginal drugs, before going to the actual topic, you know the pathophysiology. I have told you in the start of the lecture, normally there is balance of the oxygen supply and demand to the heart. Whenever the balance is disturbed, angina can occur. So decreased oxygen supply is occurred due to the patient have a coronary atherosclerosis, it means narrowing of the coronary artery, or a spasm, any thrombus. All these conditions, they decrease the oxygen supply to the heart. Or oxygen demand is increased, the patient heart rate increase, ventricular hypertrophy, ventricular increased contractility, and increased ventricular wall tension. So this is the pathophysiology. Now the treatment depends upon the type of the angina. Our aim to balance between the supply and demand. To maintain the balance between oxygen supply and demand. The oxygen supply is increased. How we increase the oxygen? First, we relieve the erythematous plaque by bypass surgery, or cabbage, you can say the cabbage, or angioplasty. Second, we relieve the vasospasm by giving the calcium channel blocker and nitrate. And third, we break the thrombi by using the thrombolytic agent, that is streptokinase and urokinase, depend upon the condition of the patient. And we prevent the thrombi by using the antiplatelet drug, you know, the low doses of the aspirin or clopidogrel. And second is we decrease the oxygen demand. It means we reduce the workload to the heart. So preload is increased by giving the nitrate, afterload is decreased by calcium channel blocker mainly, and calcium channel opener. And we also in the angina, they increase the sympathetic activity, heart rate and contractility is increased. So by giving the beta blocker, they decrease the heart rate and force of contact. In this way, we also decrease the workload to the heart. Now, the classification of the drug. 3 main classes of the drug are effective in angina. Either we use alone or in combination, depend upon the condition of the patient. The main class of the drug is the nitrate, calcium channel blockers, beta blockers, and antiplatelet drugs. So what are the drugs to treat the angina? Nitrate, calcium channel blocker, both are the vasodilators, and the beta blockers, and third one is the antiplatelet drug to prevent the thrombi. The low doses of the aspirin or triclopyr is usually combined with the anti-anginal drugs. As you have clear about the drugs, nitrate, calcium channel blocker, both are the vasodilator. Third is the beta blocker, and fourth is the antiplatelet drug. It is given with the combination of the other drugs. Now the nitrates. Classification of the nitrite and nitrate depend upon their volatile properties. These agents are divided into 3 groups. Volatile liquid, that is amyl nitrite, and nitroglycerin is the moderate volatile liquid. And third is the isosorbide dinitrite, that is the solid preparation. Okay, second is the beta adrenergic blocker drugs. Because in this case, there is a increased activity of the sympathetic due to the chest pain. So we decrease this contractility. For heart rate and force of contraction is decreased. In this way, we decrease workload to the heart. Is the atenolol, metoprolol, propranolol. And third is the calcium channel blocker. These are also vasodilators. Diltiazem, verapamil, and nifedipine. So you should know the classification of the drug, Ars in the Viva and Ars in the OSPI. The name of the drug is more important. Now the organic nitrite. These are the prodrugs. After entering into the body, they converted into they can cause release of the nitric oxides. And you know what is the prodrug? Prodrug are the inactive drug. After entering into the body and metabolism, it converted into the active drug. The nitrate are the prodrugs. Then to the body, they can cause release of the nitric oxide. And nitrate are the mainly venodilators. Also cause the arteriolar dilator, resulting they decrease both the preload and afterload. So what are the mode of actions of the nitrate? They relax the smooth muscles, including the vascular smooth muscle, resulting there is a dilatation of the large capacitor vein and can cause pooling of blood into the vein. And this pooling of blood result decreased blood flow to the heart. And in this way, they decrease the preload. And they can cause reduced work to the heart and also decrease the less requirement of oxygens. This is the one actions. And this is the another action. They also relax or dilate the arteriolar. So reducing, in this way, reduce the peripheral vascular resultant. When there is a reduced peripheral vascular resistance, so resulting there is a diminished afterload. So they decrease the preload, they also decrease the afterload. And third, they dilate the coronary vasculature. And the providing the increased blood flow to the heart muscles. So the basic mechanism is relieving of angina and decrease both preload and afterload. And in this way, they diminish the workload on the heart and reduce oxygen requirement to the heart. Our aim is also to reduce the workload to the heart by decreasing the preload, afterload, and diminish oxygen requirement to the heart. Now the mechanism of action of the nitrate. Nitrate, they relax the vascular smooth muscles by their intra-7. I have told you this is a product. They enter into the tissues and convert into the nitrite ions. And then nitrite ion, they convert into the nitric oxide. And this nitric oxide, they activate the cyclic GMP, guanosine monophosphate, in the cells. They enter into the smooth muscle and convert into the nitrite ion, and nitrite ion that converted into the nitric oxide. And this nitric oxide, they activate the guanyl cyclase, or you can say the cyclic GMP is increased. And this cyclic GMP can cause dephosphorylation of the myosin light chain. And in this way, vascular smooth muscle can relax. Here you can see. Taken from the Lippincott drug. This book picture is taken with the from the Lippincott. Is very clearly understand. So the organic nitrite are such as the nitroglycine, which is also known as glyceryl nitrate, and they can relax the vascular smooth muscle, enter into the body and convert into the nitrite and nitrate. In the smooth muscles, they convert into the nitrite ion and nitrite, and then oxidize into the nitric oxide, which in turn activate the guanyl cyclase, and that increase the cyclic GMP. And this cyclic GMP can cause the dephosphorylation of the myosin light chain, resulting where there is a smooth muscle relax. And our aim, we call the smooth muscle relaxations. Here you can also see in the pictures nitrate, they enter into the smooth muscles, release nitric oxide, and nitric oxide, they stimulate the guanyl cyclase, and the guanyl cyclase, they increase the cyclic GMP. And the cyclic GMP, they can cause the dephosphorylation of the myosin light chain, and that can cause the relaxation of the vascular smooth muscle. So mainly they are the venodilators. They also have an arterial dilation, arterial dilatation, and also can cause the dilatation of the coronary vessel. So there is a three main action. Venodilator, mainly they are the venodilator. They also cause the arterial dilatation. They also can cause the dilatation of the coronary vessels. It means they dilate all the blood vessels. Now the pharmacokinetics. That the amyl nitrate, the highly volatile and used in inhaled vapors. They are not routinely used. Nitrate are mainly used sublingually, orally, and parenterally. In the oral form, the bioavailability of the nitrate, nitroglycine isosorbate is very low due to the extensive first pass effect. So sublingual route is the drug of choice, because the first lingual is have avoid the first pass effect. They're the preferred drug. Acute angina, we give the sublingual route. The different preparations are available: sublingual, transdermal patch, and the oral. You should know the name of the drug. The sublingual is the nitroglycine, or we also call it as Angicip. The peak time of act is the 2 minutes, and the duration of action is the 10 to 30 minutes. And oral sustained release, the nitroglycine, or available in the Sustake, name of the Sustake. Peak time is the 35 minutes and the 6 to 8 hours, the duration of actions. And sublingual is the isosorbide dinitrate and nitroglycines. Oral is the isosorbide dinitrate. And the duration of action is different, and the peak time is also different. So you should know what are the drugs given sublingually, Name the drugs that are given by orally. So nitroglycine and isosorbide dinitrate are both absorbed effectively by this route and reaches within the few minutes. Sublingual tablet form of the nitroglycine have less potency when stored, so as a result of absorption to the plastic surface, kept in tightly closed glass container. And to avoid the first pass effect, nitroglycine is also available as a transdermal patch. Isosorbide mononitrate used nowadays because it's long duration of action. Isosorbide mononitrate are available in the tablet, the Monus. And it is used for the prophylaxis to prevent the angina when exertion is about to undertaken. So mainly the isosorbide mononitrate is used to prevent the angina. Why? Because they have longer duration of actions. Here you can see the pharmacological action through the pictures. I have told you the nitroglycine, the prototype of the drug, have no direct action on the heart. The first action on the vascular smooth muscle relieves the angina by decreasing oxygen requirement and oxygen delivery to the myocardium. So they have the venodilator. Main action is the venodilator. Second is the arterial dilatation. Third is the dilatation of the coronary vessels. So here you can see in the picture, the decrease the venous return to the heart. When venous return to the heart is decreased, they decrease the preload, decrease the left and the right and diastolic volume, decrease the cardiac output, decrease the myocardium. And arterial dilatation, they decrease the peripheral vascular resistance, and after load is also decreased. And then increase the blood flow to the dilatation of the large coronary vessels and the collateral vessels. So in this way, they increase the oxygen delivery to the ischemia. All these factors, they relieve the anginal pain. It also affects on the other vascular smooth muscles of the bronchi, esophagus, biliary tract. These muscles is also relaxed by the nitrate. With continuous, it also develops the tolerance. Continuous exposure to the nitrate, they develop the tolerance. So they do not respond to the nitrate, especially the long acting. A tolerance can be overcome by giving the free interval, 1 daily nitrate, to restore the sensitivity of the drug. The interval may be 6 to 8 hours, usually at the night, because they give the interval to reduce the tolerance because there is a less cardiac demand for the oxygen. Now another important point, the nitroglycine patches are worn for 12 hours and removed for 12 hours and then after. In this way we reduce the tolerance. And tolerance can develop due to the prolonged use. And one drug can develop the tolerance, can also develop the other group of the nitrate also develop the tolerance. So that they have a cross tolerance. Here you can see the picture of the drug, nitroglycine, isosorbide nitrate, isosorbide taken with the Lipin cord. So you can know what are the duration of action, onset of actions, and name the drugs. Name the drug can be given orally, can be given sublingually, and transdermal patch. Here you can see in the pictures. And what are the clinical uses of the nitrate? Is used in angina. It is also used in the myocardial infarctions and heart failure, and the hypertensive emergencies can be used. Here you can these are the clinical uses: angina pectoris, myocardial infarction, heart failure, and hypertensive emergencies. We give the nitrate. And what are the adverse effects? Adverse effect, or you can say the side effect, are occur due to the extensive vasodilation because they dilate all the vessels of the body. The patient may have headache and the postural hypotension, tachycardia, palpitation, weakness, and flushing. The most important adverse effect of the nitrate, you should know at least. And why it occurs? Due to the extensive vasodilatation because they dilate all the vessels of the body. To avoid these symptoms, the tablet may be spit out. As soon as the pain is relieved, you can spit out the remaining drugs. And overdoses of the drug can cause methemoglobinemia. So these are the adverse effects: headache, postural hypertension, tachycardia, palpitation, weakness, flushing. And prolonged use or overdoses can cause methemoglobinemia. So how we reduce the headache and postural hypertension? To avoid these symptoms, the tablet may be spit out as soon as the pain is relieved. Here you can see the headache, flushing, tachycardia. And why it can occur? I have told you the headache is the most common side effect. Ask in the YOC, what is the most common side effect of the nitroglycine? Is the headache. And why it occurs? Due to the vasodilatation of the cerebral vessels. And skin flushing, they occur due to the vasodilatation of the skin vessels. And postural hypertension due to the peripheral vasodilatation. Tachycardia, that occur due to the hypotension. And what are the contraindications? It is not used in patient may have a intracranial pressures, raised intracranial pressure, not given. And in the different preparation, you should know at least the name: isosorbide dinitrate, mononitrate. And second is the beta blockers. Whenever is a chest pain, there is a increased sympathetic activity, so heart rate and force of contraction is increased. And the workload to the heart is increased. So we give the beta blockers. The beta blockers, they call for the competitive inhibition of the catecholamine in the beta receptors in the cardiac tissue. And again, their inhibition result in the decreased force of contraction, heart rate, and cardiac output, and blood pressure is decreased. All these effects, they reduce the workload on the heart, reduce the cardiac oxygen demand, and relieve the anginal pain. And you should know the beta blocker. The prototype drug is the propranolol. And what are the therapeutic uses of the beta blockers? They relieve the angina, used in the angina, are combined, it is given with combined with the nitrate and calcium channel blocker, giving the combination. And the beta blocker should not be used alone for the angina. It should be used in the combination with calcium channel blocker and nitrate. And the side effect, the precipitate the heart failure, bradycardia, and heart rate. So not given alone. It is used with the angina, with the other anti-anginal drug, the nitroglycine and the calcium channel. And what are the side effects? The fatigue, and also called the respiratory bronchospasm. And they mask the feature of the hypoglycemia to avoid in the patient with diabetic. Okay. You should be learn in antihypertension within detail the beta blockers drugs. Here we only know the side effect. And third is the calcium channel blocker. They are the vasodilators. You should know the name of the calcium channel blocker: verapamil, diltiazem, nifedipine, amlodipine, felodipine, nicardipine. They block the L type of the calcium channel in the blood vessels and the heart. The verapamil and diltiazem, they block the L type of the canal channel And the nifedipine and amlodipine, they block the L type of the calcium channel in the blood vessels. So what are the calcium channel blockers? You should know the name: verapamil, diltiazem, nifedipine, amlodipine, felodipine, nicardipine. You should at least 2, 3, 4 names asked in the viva. The simple questions. You should know the verapamil mechanism of action and the diltiazem, what are the nifedipine, amlodipine. The verapamil, diltiazem block the L type of the channel in the heart, while the nifedipine and amlodipine, they block the L type of the channel in the blood vessels. And what are the calcium channel block? They increase the intracellular concentration of the calcium, play an important role in maintaining the tone of the smooth muscles and contraction of the myocardium. They inhibit the inward movement of the calcium channel into the cardiac muscles. Normally the calcium play an important role in maintaining the tone of the smooth muscles and contraction of the myocardium. A calcium channel blocker, they inhibit the entry of the calcium into the cardiac muscles, the smooth muscles of the coronary and the systemic artery and cells of the cardiac conducting system, resulting they decrease the force of cardiac contraction, decrease heart rate, and can cause relaxation of the arteriolar smooth muscles. It means antihypertensive effect of the calcium channel blocker, the dilatation of the arteriolar, resulting decreased peripheral resistance. They also reduce the peripheral vascular resistance because they decrease the cardiac output and peripheral. In this way, they decrease the blood pressures. And what are the mode of actions or mechanical action of the calcium channel blocker? They block the, and I have told you, they block the entry of the calcium into the heart and to the vascular smooth muscles, resulting there is a decrease myocardial contractile fire, which in turn decrease the oxygen requirement. Second, they decrease the heart rate with the use of the verapamil and diltiazem because they decrease the conduction, AV conduction, and further they decrease the oxygen demand. They also decrease the coronary artery spasm. And now the kinetics. Pharmacokinetic or the calcium channel blocker are the well absorbed from the GIT, but they undergo varying degree of the first part metabolism. Highly plasma protein bound, metabolized in the liver and excreted in the urine. So what are the adverse effects of the calcium channel blocker? Nifedipine, or you can say the nitrate, is the can cause the postural hypotension, headache, flushing, reflex tachycardia. And the verapamil, nifedipine, postural hypotension, palpitation, reflex tachycardia, flushing, dizziness. Second is the verapamil, they can cause the constipation. Most important side effect of the verapamil is the constipation. Headache is rarely, edema, sinus bradycardia. And diltiazem, the side effect is the headache, hypotension, bradycardia, edema, and the AV block. Here you can see some adverse effect of the calcium channel blocker: constipation, vertigo, headache, fatigue, and hypotension. Again, the nifedipine can cause the headache, flushing, palpitation, peripheral edema. And second, the cardiac depression, resulting in the bradycardia. The more common is the verapamil side effect is the constipation. Nifedipine can cause the headache, flushing, especially we divide the calcium channel dihydropyridine and non-dihydropyridine. It will be discussed in detail with antihypertensive drug. Here you only know the name of the drug. So dihydropyridine, the nifedipine, they can cause the headache, most common side effect. And the verapamil can cause the most common side effect is the constipations. And the contraindication of the calcium channel blocker is not given the heart block. and hypertension and the heart failure. And the combination of the verapamil, diltiazem, beta blocker is severe bradycardia, so not contraindicated in the bradycardia. If the patients are taking digoxin, verapamil may increase its level, resulting in digoxin toxicity. The contraindication, the patient who have taken the digoxins. Now the drug strategy, the classical and vasospastic ailment. Our aim to increase the oxygen delivery and decrease the vasospasm. So what are the drugs we give? Nitrate and calcium channel blocker. Both are the vasodilators. The combination of the nitrate with beta blocker plus oxygen supplement to prevent the thrombosis. And the MI, we use the heparin and the warfarin or antiplatelet. Traclopidine to prevent the thrombi. And here is the summary of the anti-anginal drug. What are the main classes of the drug? Organic nitrates, beta blocker, calcium channel blocker, or antithrombotic or antiplatelet drug, that is the low doses of the aspirin. The organic nitrate, what are the name of the isosorbide dinitrate, isosorbide mononitrate, and nitroglycine. And the beta blocker is the acebutolol, atenolol, metoprolol, and propranolol. And the calcium channel blocker, the name is the amlodipine. And the diltiazem, felodipine, nicardipine, nifedipine, and verapamil. So you should know the name of the anti-anginal. More important topic regarding BCQ, regarding auspice stations must come. Anti-anginal case. So you should know at least the name of the drug, what is angina, what are the different types of the angina, what are the drugs. So now we summarize. So what is angina? Is the main symptoms of the ischemic heart disease. Pressing chest pain. And why it occurs? It occurs due to the imbalance between the supply and oxygen demand of the myocardium. And you know the different types of angina. You should know what is the stable angina, what is the unstable angina, stable angina, or you can say angina pectoris. And second is the angina, unstable angina. The angina can occur at rest. And third is the Prinzmental angina or vasospastic angina that can occur at rest and due to spasm of the coronary artery. And for the treatment of the angina, for the acute treatment, we give the nitroglycine sublingually and isosorbide dinitrate sublingually. And the chronic prophylactic uses, we use the nitroglycine, isosorbide dinitrate, isosorbide mononitrate because it has a prolonged half-life. And the chronic use, we use the beta blockers, that is the propranolol, metoprolol, atenolol. And the calcium channel blocker, that is the verapamil, diltiazem, nifedipine. Antiplatelet drug, miscellaneous, like we use the low doses of the aspirin. And what is the mechanism of action of the nitrate? You know, the nitrate are the prodrugs. And they, when enter into the tissue, they can cause the release of the nitric oxide. And the nitrate are mainly the venodilator, but it also can cause the arteriolar dilatation and dilatation of the coronary vessel. In this way, they decrease the preload and afterload. It also affects on the other smooth muscles. They can cause that relaxation of the bronchi, esophagus, biliary tract. All the muscles are relaxed by nitrate. And the pharmacokinetics, they are absorbed through the buccal mucous membrane and the skin and the GIT tract. Adverse effect, they have the most is the vasodilatations, adverse effect. So they can cause the headache and postural hypotension, tachycardia, and flushing. So to avoid these symptoms, the tablet may be spit out as soon as the pain is relieved. And overdoses of the drug can cause methemoglobinemia. Tolerance of the nitrate can develop for the prolonged use. So we give the nitrate interval for 12 hours. And the therapeutic uses of the nitrate is used to angina. To relieve the anginal pain is also used in myocardial infarction, CCF, biliary colic, because they relieve the biliary spasm and the pain is associated, is relieved. And second important drug is the beta blockers, because when there is angina, they can stimulate the sympathetic system, the heart rate and force of contraction is increased. So we block this by giving the beta adrenergic blocker. In this way, they reduce the heart rate, they reduce the force of contraction, and they reduce the cardiac work load. In this way, we decrease the oxygen demand to the myocardium. Adverse effect, again, there is a bradycardia and the bronchospasm. So it should be given the patient have asthma to give the cardioselective beta blocker drugs. And third is the calcium channel blocker. What are the name of the drug of the calcium channel drug? Amlodipine, verapamil, diltiazem, felodipine. The mechanism of action, they enter into the tissues and they block the calcium channel. Prevent the entry of calcium into the cell. And can cause dephosphorylation of the light myosin chain. In this way, there is no contraction and excitation coupling in the heart and the vascular smooth muscles. And the verapamil, they are different pharmacology. Verapamil, they decrease the force of contraction. They have a negative inotropic and negative chronotropic effect. And the effect is the verapamil, the side effect is the constipations. And the nifedipine, they have the side effect is the headache and the diarrhea. And the diltiazem, the side effect is the hypertension and supraventricular arrhythmia. So what are the uses of the calcium channel blocker? Is the angina pectoris. It is used in angina, it is used in the variant angina, unstable angina. It is also used in the supraventricular arrhythmia, hypertension, cardiomyopathy, and it is used in the combination, not used alone. It is used in the combination with the nitrate, calcium channel blockers, and the question regarding the OSPI asked in the exam, classify the anti-anginal drugs, what are its mechanism of action, what are its pharmacokinetic, adverse effect, and therapeutic effect of a drug. What are the name of the calcium channel blocker, what are its mechanism of action, side effect, and adverse effect of the. And in this way, we ask the beta blockers of the drug. Okay, here we have finished. Any questions you can ask.